Hi, this is Jenny Robb of Radiant Wholeness Healing, and in today's video, I'm going to be guiding you through clearing the energy of doubt so you can access your own inner wisdom and knowing. For me, the energy of doubt, which I struggled with a lot of my life, often comes from when I'm either really disconnected from my body, my heart, and my head, and trying to figure things out, or when I'm letting other people's opinions enter and block my own knowing. And those two things can go hand in hand. And so I'm going to guide you to access what some of the triggers are for you to block you from your own knowing or from trusting your own knowing, and also where you might feel that in your body. You might not feel your body at all. You might dissociate, or you might notice it somewhere located in a certain area of your body. For me, I know it's often like this, almost like an armoring feeling in my chest. Height that can also be associated with anxiety is often a feeling I have when going into doubt and unable to really access the part of me that does know and is clear, which I've learned that part is actually always present. It's just sometimes I'm not able to trust or hear or act. So having said that, I invite you to first close your eyes and then we'll get to the tapping in a little bit. And just dropping in, taking a few nice deep breaths. And as you do, invite in that part of you that goes into doubt. And it might be about something specific right now, or it might just be a general feeling that you often have. Doubting yourself, doubting others, doubting the universe, doubting decisions. And just notice what happens in your body. Do you disconnect from your body? Does your mind get really active? Do you go blank? Do certain areas get really tight? And then just noticing if there are other secondary emotions that are linked to the doubt for you. There be feelings of helplessness or anger, confusion, fear, sadness, whatever it might be. And if nothing comes up, that's okay too. Noticing if there are thoughts, beliefs, words that also come along with doubt. Might be, I'm not enough. I can't trust myself. I can't trust others. Others know better than I do. As you pull up these beliefs, these emotions, where you feel it in your body, ask yourself if there were an age or an age range associated with this. When might that be? You might also just follow this feeling back in time. It takes you. Noticing if there's a certain period of time when your young self started learning that it wasn't safe to trust their own knowing. It might be due to parents or guardians or siblings giving you the message that they knew better, or that if you honored your own needs, your feelings, you would get punished or ignored. Maybe in school, where you were conditioned to listen to authority, to follow authority, to trust their knowing. Or it might be the opposite. It might be a time when you learned you couldn't trust yourself or others, and trust authority, which also might have made it harder to trust your own. And if nothing comes up for this one, it's okay to have doubt or lack of clarity around this, especially since that is what we're exploring. And then calling forth a version of yourself. It might be a future self, a higher self, parallel self, who is connected to your knowing. And just notice, you might get a visual of that version of you, or just a self then, or hear words. And just noticing what qualities that version of you embodies, how they are feeling and living their lives compared to the current version of you. Maybe even seeing if they have any message or loving words for you. Might be just an energetic transmission. And again, if nothing comes up, that's okay. And feel free to pause here if you need a little more time. And otherwise, we're going to start with the tapping. You can open your eyes or keep them closed, whatever feels good. Repeating after me in your head or out loud. Feel free to modify the words if they don't quite fit what you're going through. Even though I'm having a lot of doubt. And that is often my default state. And it's hard to know what's my head, what's my intuition. Maybe nothing is coming at all. I'm open to loving and accepting myself deeply and completely. Whether I have clarity or I'm in doubt, it's possible I'm still a good person. It's possible my worth is not dependent on figuring this out. Tapping all over your head. Hello, energy of doubt. Inside of the eyebrows. I feel you. Outside of the eyes. And name wherever you're feeling the doubt. It might be in your head, be in a specific area of your body. You might just go numb. You can name it too. I doubt in mind. And above the lips. I know you're there. under the collarbone, and I know you're there for a reason. Middle sternum, breathe. And I acknowledge any young part of me, ribs that learned early on out of the body to mistrust their knowing, rest, to disconnect from it. For the wrist, to trust other people's knowing instead. And or not trust anyone or anything. Inside of the eyebrows. High part of me that learned to go into my head. Outside of the eyes to figure it out. Under the eyes. I see you. And above the lips. I feel you. Under the collarbone. I am so sorry. Sternum. That you got the message that this was a matter of life or death. Ribs, that you have to get it right. Side of the body, that trusting your intuition is not safe. Rest under those circumstances. And the rest, it was so smart of you. The head to disconnect from your intuitive self. Inside of the eyebrows. To block your knowing. Outside of the eyes, to either go into confusion. Under the eyes, I don't know. Under and above the lips. To not know at all. Under the collarbone, or to trust other people's knowing. Middle sternum. That's what you have to do to survive. Ribs. Now I invite you to pause. You don't have to repeat what I'm going to say. You can pause in the tapping if you want. Or continue tapping. I'll be naming the points if you do want to continue tapping. Side of the body. Closing your eyes if they're open, connecting to any young part of you. You might have like age range, might just be general nebulous, but any part of you that learned that it was safer to doubt. And again, it might just be doubting yourself and trusting others. It might be just not trusting anybody, anything. Tapping all over the head. And reaching across time and space to that young self inside of the eyebrows if you're still tapping. Letting them know that you're there from the future. Outside of the eyes, that you know that this is a tough time for them under the eyes, that it's hard to trust right now. And above the lips, letting them know that letting in the energy of doubt was brilliant. Under the collarbone, that's exactly what they needed to do at the time to feel safe. And on the sternum, less powerless. Ribs. They can truly hang on to it as long as they need to feel safe. Side of the body. And also letting them know that thankfully you are not as young as they are. Rest that your circumstances have changed. The rest that you have resources and choices that they didn't have. Tapping all over the head if you're still tapping. Inside of the eyebrows, and that at this point in your life, the doubt energy is not helping you feel less powerless, but actually more. Outside of the eyes, that you're stuck in an old trauma capsule that you were in, even though you're under the eyes. Maybe you can project into liminal space images of your current life so that your younger self can see that. And you're above the lips. See how accessing your clarity now would actually be helpful. Under the collarbone, maybe building a bridge between then and now. And sternum. You know that you understand how powerless or scared or confused they were feeling. Of course they were. And relating whatever belief they developed to make sense of things, that the world isn't safe, they can't trust anybody, that their intuition is going to betray them, whatever it might be. And if they want to hang on to this a little bit longer, if they're doubting, that's okay. You can keep redoing the first part of this as long as it's necessary, or pause the video and hang out with them. Or do a little bit of this every day. And then if and when they want, because all they wanted back then was to be connected to their knowing, to their clarity. And when your young self feels ready, your adult self feels ready, you can hold out in front of us that belief, or those beliefs if they're multiple. I can't trust others, I can't trust the world, I trust my mind. It's not safe to know, I don't know what is true. Safer to trust my head. Or just nodding to both the belief and then the coping strategy you develop to go with it. Honoring how it really served a purpose, really helped you survive. And if the energy of doubt is inherited, also thanking your ancestors for how it might have helped them be skeptical or not take anything at face value, or how confusion maybe protected them. And then when you're ready, releasing that back to light energy, shaking that out. Releasing any cords that are tying you to that time. And doing a little karmic car wash. You to like a little energetic shower, clearing off, imagining you're bringing in beautiful, energetic, super strength soap and just that energy of doubt, head, heart, body. Rinsing that off, and that back out. Popping that trauma capsule that your young self is stuck in the depths, not knowing. That's your young self, bringing them into your heart. And feeling them cross that bridge between then and now, which is you. You wiring your mind, your heart, your gut, all the centers, connecting them so you can have full access to your knowledge. You do calling forth again that version of you that does know that it's clear, that it's connected to your mind. Merging with that version of you might step into them, you might step into you, step into each other at the same time. Just feel what that feels like in your heart and your body and your mind. Feel the channel unclogging and clearing. Without trying to get an answer, just allow yourself to be open to whatever wants to emerge through you. And I can now, I can later, maybe at a time when you're expecting it to leave. Just be a general feeling of clarity. You might not be looking for anything specific. And you're really opening your eyes, tapping all over your body, shaking it out, touching something grounding. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Please let me know down below in the comments about when to always make all of the effort that I put into these videos worth it. When I hear back from you guys, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and feel free to reach out if you want to know more about one-on-one with me so you can talk even more deeply.